Today, we're going to talk about the digestive system, and I'm going to give you a general overview of the structures and functions of the digestive system and focus at the end with the teeth. Okay, so what are the functions of the digestive system? There are basically four functions. First is ingestion. This is taking in food. Second is propulsion. This is the movement of food. Third is digestion and absorption. This is where the food is broken down and the nutrients are taken in. And then fourth is egestion, which is the elimination of waste. And on the right here are some of the major organs that are part of the digestive system. Now, there are two sections of the digestive system. There's the alimentary canal, and then there are the accessory organs. The alimentary canal, it's also called the gastrointestinal tract, includes the mouth, the pharynx, the esophagus, the stomach, the small intestine, and the large intestine. These form one tract that the food travels through. The accessory organs are not a tract that the food travels through. Rather, these organs aid in the digestion of the food. So these are things like the teeth, the tongue, the salivary glands, the liver, the gallbladder, and the pancreas. Okay, so now let's talk about the layers of the alimentary canal. All areas of the alimentary canal contain a 4-layer arrangement of tissues. There's the mucosa, the submucosa, the muscularis, these are muscles, and then the serosa. So those are the 4 layers moving from the innermost to the outermost, from the mucosa all the way to the serosa. So another picture that might help you here, superficial, this would be on the surface, and deep would be below that surface. Okay, so up near the surface, you have the layer called the serosa. This is also called the visceral peritoneum. This is a membrane that secretes a slippery, watery fluid, and it reduces friction as digestive organs contract and move. Okay, below that layer, you have the muscularis. It's a layer of muscle extending in 2 directions. And there's a circular layer here and a longitudinal layer. Below the muscularis, you have the submucosa. It contains glands, nerve fibers, and blood vessels. And then below that layer, you have the mucosa. And here are the 3 functions of the mucosa. It secretes mucus, digestive enzymes, and hormones. It absorbs nutrients, and it protects from pathogens. Specifically, the lymphatic tissue plays a role in that. Okay, so those are the 4 layers of uh, tissues within the alimentary canal. Okay, so now let's talk about one of your accessory organs that aid in digestion, the teeth. Teeth are accessory digestive organs. They are responsible for beginning the mechanical digestion process. So there's going to be 2 types of processes when digestion is happening. There are mechanical processes where things are like moving, being crushed, ground up, things like that, churned. Then there's chemical processes where it's actually chemicals that are breaking things down. Okay, but your teeth play a role in the mechanical digestion process. And I want you to be able to identify the teeth. So you have the incisors here in the front, and these are used for cutting pieces of food. Next to that, you have your canine. It's that very pointy tooth near the front. They're also called cuspids. They tear and pierce. Then you have your premolars. These are called your bicuspids, and they're used for crushing. And then your molars are your tricuspids. They're used for grinding. So you can see tricuspids because there's 3 molars there, bicuspids because there's 2 premolars. One cuspid right here is just your canine, and then you have your incisors in the front. Now, you're supposed to have, under normal conditions, a mirror image of this on the other side of the mouth. I've only shown you one side. Now, if you focus in on just one tooth, we can identify a little bit of the anatomy. I won't go too deep here, but here's just some of the anatomy of the tooth. At the surface here, you have the enamel. It's hard and it protects the tooth. Below that, you have the dentin. This is calcified connective tissue. Below that, inside that, you have the pulp cavity. This is where your blood vessels and nerves are located. And it's pointing to the gum. This is called the gingivae. It provides a seal around the tooth. So those four parts make up what's called the crown of the tooth. Okay, now you also have the root below that. And the root is made of cementum. It covers the dentin in the root. Then you have the bone of your jaw. You have an artery below that and a vein below that. So the cementum, bone of the jaw, the artery, and the vein, these make up the root of your tooth. So to sum up, the digestive system has multiple functions and is generally divided into two portions, the alimentary canal and the accessory organs. And we looked at the layers of the alimentary canal, and we also looked at one of your accessory organs, your teeth. Teeth begin the process of mechanical digestion by tearing and grinding food.